You know that moment in the tent when the sun drops, the temperature nosedives, and suddenly your sleeping bag feels like a cold tortilla shell? Yeah, that's what this video is here to fix. Today, I am counting down 6 of the best tent heaters that actually keep you warm, not just slightly less miserable, all the way from budget-friendly basics to a seriously overbuilt beast at number 1. Number 6. Mr. Heater Little Buddy Indoor Safe Propane Heater. It's kind of the classic starter tent heater. You screw a 1-pound propane cylinder on the bottom, hit the ignition, and it pumps out up to 3,800 BTUs of radiant heat, which is enough for a small tent or a tight sleeping area up to around 100 square feet. What this one does well is simplicity. There's no menu, no fan, no app, no drama. 1-button ignition, a solid base, and a nice focused radiant head that throws heat right where you're sitting. If you're in a 1-2-person tent or an ice fishing shelter, you really feel this thing, especially pointed towards your torso or hands. It runs for about 5.5 hours on a single 1-pound tank, which lines up nicely with an evening and early night burn before you crash. Safety-wise, Mr. Heater didn't cheap out. You get an oxygen depletion sensor that shuts it off if the air gets sketchy, plus a tip-over shutoff, so if you bump it in the night, it just cuts the gas instead of turning your tent into a science experiment. It's marketed as indoor safe for small enclosed spaces, which is exactly the kind of peace of mind you want when there's nylon and sleeping bags all around you. Now, here's where the little buddy slides down to number 6. The angle and design are a bit limiting. It only mounts straight on top of the cylinder, so you don't have much flexibility in height or direction. 5. Hotdevil Portable Propane Heater. This little unit is definitely more of an outdoor first, but tent-compatible heater. It cranks out up to about 6,200 BTUs, which you feel immediately. Compared to the little buddy, you go from nice and warm close-up to, okay, this tent's actually heating up now. You know that feeling when you unzip the tent at 5 a.m., step out, and instantly regret all your life choices? This is the heater you park outside the tent door or right inside the vestibule and just let it blast warmth into your space while you wake up. It's compact, pretty lightweight, and built with an aluminum reflector and a folding stand, so it sets up quickly and throws a focused beam of heat. The control valve is a big plus here. You're not stuck with on or off. You can dial the heat from gentle to aggressive, which is perfect when the night starts off brutally cold and then softens a bit toward morning. And because it uses a 1-pound cylinder with a proper holder and brass connections, it feels secure when you're moving it around camp. Now, let's be honest for a second. This is where some trade-offs put it at number 5 instead of higher. It's marketed heavily as an outdoor heater, and while people absolutely use it in tents and shacks, you'll want to be extra intentional about ventilation. That means you have to be a bit more deliberate and cautious inside a tent. Number 4, Dreo Space Heater. And this one is for anyone camping with access to shore power, a generator, or a powered setup. This isn't just a fan with a glow. It's a legit 1,500-watt ceramic heater with multiple modes: high, low, eco, and fan only. In high mode, it delivers fast, punchy heat. In eco mode, it automatically adjusts power to maintain your set temperature. Let me explain why this matters in a tent. With propane, you're always feeling that mental load of, is it safe? Is the tank running low? Do I have enough ventilation? With an electric unit like the Dreo, all of that drops way down. It has overheat protection, tip-over shutoff, flame retardant housing, and a fortified design that's clearly made for indoor use. On a cots and gear style setup in a larger tent or cabin, this thing feels like cheating. The oscillation is another quiet superpower. Instead of just blasting one hot strip of air, the Dreo sweeps 70 degrees side to side, which is a big deal in a tent where people are lying at different angles. Nobody gets cooked on one side while the other person is still in a cold spot. The adjustable thermostat from about 41 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit lets you set the vibe once and then just forget about it while you play cards, read, or crash for the night. Noise-wise, it's impressively chill. The fan runs in the mid 30 decibel range, which is like a soft white noise machine more than a hairdryer. 3. The Boss Propane Heater Indoor. This thing is built for bigger tents, garages, ice shacks, and cabins where you need to chase real cold out of the space, not just make a bubble of warmth around your knees. It pushes up to around 12,000 BTUs, depending on the version, which is a huge step up from the small canister heaters. When you fire this one up, you feel it. The radiant head and design spread warmth quickly through an area instead of just giving you a small hot spot. For families camping together, group trips, or those big wall tents with cots and gear everywhere, this is the kind of heater that actually changes the inside climate, not just some corner. What makes it stand out is that it's still portable and tent-friendly while being big boy powerful. It's designed to be used indoors and outdoors, and you'll see safety notes about low oxygen shutoff and tip-over protection, which is exactly what you want in an enclosed shelter. On a really cold night, being able to run a heater like this, then cycle it on and off to maintain warmth, feels like a luxury. Now, you're going to go through fuel faster. That's the trade-off with 12,000 BTUs. You get that gorgeous wall of heat, but your propane tanks absolutely notice. For car camping or ice fishing, that's not a deal breaker because you can just bring larger tanks or spares. But it's not the minimalist throw a 1-pound cylinder in your backpack and go scenario. This is more of a base camp tool. 2. Gardtech Electric Space Heater for Indoor. The Gardtech has quietly become one of those if you know options for greenhouses, cabins, and yes, tents with power. This thing pulls double duty. It can run as a fan-only mode around 25 watts and as a heater at about 1,500 watts, giving you quick, efficient warmth when temperatures tank. What makes it so appealing is the way it's tuned for real environments, not just living rooms. It's marketed heavily for greenhouses and patios, which means it's built to handle damp, chilly air and still crank out heat reliably. That translates perfectly into camping and shoulder seasons, hunting setups, and semi-permanent tent or shelter rigs where you might leave gear set up for a few days. You get multiple speed and mode settings, so you're not stuck with one extreme. On cold nights, you kick it into heat mode and let the fan push warm air through the tent. On milder nights, fan mode keeps air moving without baking you. That flexibility is huge if your weather swings between frost at night and actually decent during the day. It's also dialed in from a safety and convenience angle. Overheat protection and a solid enclosure design mean it behaves like a true indoor rated appliance. You don't have fumes, you don't have to babysit a flame, and you can actually relax while it runs. For anyone camping at powered sites, using a battery station plus inverter, or heating a rooftop tent near an outlet, this Gardtech unit quietly becomes the MVP of the trip. DEWALT Cordless Portable Propane Radiant Heater. This is the heater you throw in the truck when you're serious about winter camping, working, or fishing, and you want one tool that just does it all. Here's why it sits at the top of the list. First, power. Up to 12,000 BTU with adjustable settings, enough to heat around 250 to 300 square feet depending on conditions. That covers big tents, work areas, ice shacks, and garages without breaking a sweat. Second, it runs on standard 1-pound propane tanks, but the base is designed for dual tank capacity, so you can run for up to roughly 7 hours without swapping. That means you can actually ride through a full evening and night with consistent warmth. Then there's the cordless magic. You pop in a DEWALT 20V Max or FlexVolt battery, and suddenly you've got more than just a heater. You've got a built-in high-speed fan that helps push that radiant warmth around the whole space instead of letting it sit in one hot bubble. You've got an LED work light built into the handle, which sounds like a gimmick until you're fumbling with line, gear, or zippers in the dark and that overhead light just quietly saves the day. And yeah, it goes even further. There are 3 USB charging ports on the unit. So while this thing is kicking out heat, it's also topping off your phone, camera, or headlamp batteries. Final thought. If you're still here, you're probably the kind of person who camps when everyone else is scrolling weather apps and saying, yeah, maybe next weekend. Pick the heater that fits your style, your power situation, and your tent size, and you'll be the one out there actually enjoying the cold instead of hiding from it.